Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a wonderful special installment of the Bald Chef of Bergamo. Today we will be preparing porchetta. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a great traditional street food, roast, whatever you want to do, full entree, street food sandwiches, great recipe. The porchetta, pork belly, nicely cooked, herbed up, sliced up with some veggies. This is a special treat, and today we have our special guest chef, Pitmaster Pat. Let's start with getting the herbs prepared, and then we'll head over and Pitmaster Pat will help us with la porchetta. So, for la porchetta, we're gonna put some nice fresh herbs. I got some thyme, rosemary, and sage. I'm gonna take it off the little stem there and I'm gonna dice it. I'm gonna slice it really fine. We don't want any crunchy parts in our porchetta. And to that I'm gonna add just some dry herbs, some fennel. We're gonna roast some peppercorns, etc., etc. But let me start by cutting this nice and fine. Got some great fresh thyme, rosemary, and sage. And let us begin the preparation of the porchetta. So, I'm just going to cut this rosemary very fine. I want it to be able to spread over the entire porchetta. That's just about right. We don't want any crunchy parts, but we want all that flavor to come out. So you can see that's very fine. I'm going to do the same thing with the thyme. I'm going to peel off the leaves of the thyme, and we'll do the same thing with the sage. Let me get this all sliced up, sliced and diced, and then we'll check back, and then it's time to marinate. To spice up the porchetta. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the wonderful, beautiful porchetta. Nice little pork belly. And today we've got our guest chef, as I told you before, Pitmaster Pat, and we're going to start taking off the skin of the pork belly, set it aside, and then start kind of doing a little butterfly cut to get as much surface area as we can on the pork belly. So let's start slicing and dicing up this skin. So here we go. Got Pitmaster Pat, kind of getting the skin off the pork belly. It's okay if you don't get it all in the perfect cut. It's all right because it's all going to get in there anyway. And as we were just discussing, we're going to eat the skin once it's nice and crisp anyway. So what we're just trying to do is make sure we get it easier to wrap around. And then while he's doing that, I got the easy job. I'm just going to be taking about 12 cloves of garlic and then microplaning them into a fine mesh to add with the herbs as you already saw earlier. Some ground fennel seed, 3 tablespoons of black pepper, and then we're going to zest a little lemon. So let me get to this, and that Pitmaster Pat finishes preparing of the belly. All right, Pitmaster Pat has done a fantastic job. We've got the skin off, and then we've kind of laid back, kind of did a little butterfly action here to get as much surface area as possible. And now we're just going to layer in as much of this spice as we can. So we've got our garlic, again 3 or 4 tablespoons of mix between rosemary, thyme, sage, ground fennel, salt, lots of coarse pepper, and some lemon zest. And we're just going to spread the spices all over there. So let's start digging into this, get our hands dirty, and spread out the spices. See this? Get it all over it. Use it all. You may even need to use excess, it's fine. You want this to kind of get at every bite when you get into this porchetta. You want as much as you can get. Sprinkle on the salt, have a little salt. Good job, Pitmaster Pat. And we'll put in the pepper and zest. Let's see what this thing looks like once all the spices are in. Okay, look at that. Perfectly spiced up. Now we're going to roll it back together. Pitmaster Pat, do the honors.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Let's think about what this is going to taste like in 5 to 6 hours.
All that fat melting down, connective tissue. Just melting away.
Exactly. So now we've got this wrapped together. We had a little change of direction there as it started to roll together. Initially, we realized we were at the wrong angle. That's fine. As you can see, this is flexible. But now we got this thing nicely rolled together. And we're going to secure it with a couple skewers. Let it set, and then we're going to tie it with some nice little butcher's string and secure it. Make it nice and tight and try to keep those spices in there. Okay, look at that. Pitmaster Pat did a fantastic job of wrapping it. Keep it nice and tight. We'll check the other angle. Oops. Look at that. Look at all that flavor that's going to be unlocked. And we're going to get the grill ready. And then this will cook for about, what do you say, 5 hours maybe?
5 hours?
Yep. But let's see what it looks like once we put it on the grill. We got a few more minutes before that grill's up to temperature. Check back then. So, Pitmaster Pat has his big green egg. So we're going to lay it on there. This is already up to temperature, 275, 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Cover this up. Let it cook for 5 hours. We'll check temperature along the way. We're also going to throw some vegetables in the bottom, but we're going to get it started now, and then while this is coming up to temperature and nice and cooking, I'll head over and start chopping up some vegetables to put into the bottom of that pan there. So this is going to be a wonderful day. We'll check back in a bit. All right, coming along. Got a little bit of ways to go here, but this is after an hour or so, a couple hours maybe. Got to turn the heat up just a bit. You can see some of that grease coming off there. We're going to now throw some vegetables. Just throw some nice roots, carrots, fennel, and a lot of potatoes. Just a little parsley and garlic on that. Just throw it in here, let them cook. Take the juices off the porchetta. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? Perfectly cooked. The vegetables have just soaked up a lot of the juices. They'll be wonderful. We're going to take this off. It's been on there about 5 hours or so. The temperature's perfect. We had to increase the temperature just a bit to get it to where we wanted. Let's take it off and let it rest.
But it's fat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at what we have here. The porchetta is fantastic, well cooked. Pitmaster Pat did a fantastic job. Again, you can use the grill or you can put it in the oven. Your choice. The vegetables came out perfect. And you could throw it on a nice wek, but we'll show you how to make that later. But right now, let's just dig in. Bald Chef of Bergamo, good eats, hot treats.